My name is Brandon Clark, and I'm interviewing Lisa Glidewell, who was born on August 3rd, 1970. She lives in Canyon Lake, Texas. Um, what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Navy.
And what wars did you serve during?
In the first Gulf War.
Okay. Where were you living when you enlisted?
I was living in Iowa.
With your parents, on your own?
I just got married 2 weeks before. With my husband.
So, if you just got married, why did you want to join the military?
Actually, it was a delayed entry program, and I had already joined it 6 months before I graduated from high school at 17.
Why did you pick the Navy over the Army or the Air Force or something like that?
Because I didn't want to be a grunt, and the Navy offers some of the best schooling, the highest pay, and the best training.
So you were in the Navy so they would pay for your schooling? Or?
No. I was there because I went to that recruiter, and I didn't want to be a Marine, or I didn't want to be in the Army, and it was just flip of the coin, and I took some tests and scored really high, and they guaranteed me schooling and jobs, and there you go.
So after you enlisted, where did you go?
I went to boot camp in Orlando, Florida. Then I went to 24 weeks of intense training in Millington, Tennessee, and had a short break, and then came back to Iowa and flew out to Washington State, Whidbey Island, where I was stationed for the remainder of my service.
When you first left home, to all your training, what was that like?
Going to boot camp? Well, yeah, that was an experience. I remember at 3 o'clock in the morning pulling up to wrought iron gates in a bus going, what in the hell did I just do? And I'm not real good with authority. So needless to say, it was kind of a spontaneous thing as it was, and I was a newlywed, and I was a baby, and we hadn't started the war yet, and it is not anything like the recruiters tell you. I'll just say that.
As a woman in the military,
Mm-hmm.
had to be different. What, were you treated differently, or?
Well, yeah. When I went in, and while I served, during that time, they were just coming around to allowing women during the time of war actually get my line of work is predominantly male dominated, and not very many women do the field of work I was in, and I was one of the first women to get to go on a nuclear aircraft carrier during a time of war, and there was 6 of us to about 8,000 men. We had to have armed guards. That was a trip. And it was, if you look in history, the beginning of a tailhook convention, where the beginning of sexual harassment it became an issue. And there was a big, huge scandal and a huge crackdown, and there was a lot of discrimination during that time.
So you served on a nuclear aircraft?
The Nimitz.
What was that like?
Huge. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life, or ever get to do. One of the scariest. It was just really cool.
What were some of your jobs? What did you do on the ship?
Try to find where we would meet in the morning and my room at night, because I don't care how many times you go, you always get lost because everything looks the same, and it's almost an optical illusion. It's just trying to stay, just trying to find your way through where you're supposed to, from point A to point B, was a job in itself. But I actually, it's called debt. You get sent on debt. And the time frame varies, but you do any jobs, and as an E3, which I hadn't made rank yet, you kind of get stuck with not always the best jobs. You're kind of at the bottom of the ladder at the time. But I lucked out because of the security reasons, and I got to work into the officers' mess hall. And that's where they serve lobster and crab and shrimp, and they have gourmet chefs, and it's phenomenal food. And it was really fun.
Did you travel a lot?
My original service is you have 3 years of shore duty, it's called, and then you have 3 years of sea duty. And in between that time, you go on debt. And that's when I went in the Nimitz. I'd go to Fallon, Nevada. We were in charge of 36 aircraft.
Do you remember the day your service ended?
It would be April 11th, 1996.
What did you do when you were done?
When I was done?
Like the day you were done, did you?
Well, you're never really done. You're just inactive.
So
you're always a soldier. You're always a veteran. It's something that becomes a part of you.
So being in the military changed your life?
To say the least.
Like how would that affect your life in just everyday living?
Well, you get prepared to kill someone or be killed. You get trained on how to kill someone and stay alive. You learn whatever field that you're in. I was in avionics, and being on a ship, you have to be a certified firefighter. You have to know your regular job. There's just a wide variety of safety issues, and it's all about survival.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't talked about?
Not at this time.
Well, thank you for sharing your story with us then.
It's like